Risk of heavy
News Midday starts now.
Hot temperatures and high humidity creating a heat advisory throughout our area. We're going to talk about this dangerous heat and how long it will last in the forecast area coming up.
Plus, a hearing is happening now to decide whether a Buckhead nightclub will be forced to close its doors after 2 people were killed inside, what a judge could decide. And as Atlanta public school students head back to class, what the district is doing to attract more school bus drivers. Welcome to 11Alive Midday, taking a look outside this morning from our Midtown camera on this Thursday, or we like to call it Friday Eve. The temps are still climbing today, reaching high levels. You add in that humidity, it is going to be a scorcher, making this another 11Alive weather impact alert day. So let's get you straight to meteorologist Chezzy McNeil to help you plan to keep you and your family safe.
All right, thanks a lot, Aisha. You're absolutely right. You're talking about that heat and humidity combined. Yep, it creates these dangerous temperatures. And if you have to work outside or have to be outside for this afternoon, you definitely need to take the necessary precautions, folks. We're talking about high temperatures in the 90s, well into the 90s this afternoon. And you factor in that humidity, it makes that heat the heat index feel like 100, 105, 107 in some spots out there. Look at all the highlighted counties here, all colored in orange, just about the entire state, except for the far northeastern counties. That's where you're going to find that heat index going above 105 for this afternoon. You got it in Rome, Atlanta, Athens, over toward Augusta, down toward Macon. And so it's going to be very, very hot on the outside. So what do you need to do? Well, you need to take breaks if you have to be outside. You want to come inside, enjoy the air for a minute or two, grab some water, then go back out and then take more breaks as frequent as possible. Right now, we have temperatures in the upper 80s. Started out in the 70s this morning. We're watching that temperature climb because of all the sunshine that we have out there. Not a lot of clouds to block it out. 90 right now in Duluth. You got 88 in Athens and up towards Gainesville. 84 right now in Carrollton, 83 degrees in Blairsville. Here's our high temperatures for today. We're going to see those temperatures climb into the middle 90s. And again, when you factor in humidity, this is what you get, those triple-digit heat index numbers. And they get on up there today. You're looking at 107 over toward Athens, 107 over into Edenton, 105 down toward LaGrange. Again, which is why we have that heat advisory. That will last until 9 o'clock tonight. And then we'll do it again for tomorrow. But will it last into the weekend? I'll let you know in the full forecast straight ahead. Aisha, back to you.
All right, Chezzy, we'll see you soon. Thank you. Be prepared for any storms in your area by downloading the 11Alive app. All you have to do is scan the QR code you see right there on your screen to get it for free and get the 11Alive weather impact forecast right at your fingertips. We are staying on top of the search for a 2-month-old baby girl missing out of Sandy Springs. Take a look at your screen right now at baby Rhea Clark. Police say she was abducted by her father, Randy Clark, on Wednesday afternoon from the Home 2 Suites by Hilton on Peachtree Dunwoody Road. We're told Randy Clark is considered armed and dangerous. If you have any information, you are urged to call 911 or Sandy Springs Police. We will stay on top of the efforts to bring this baby back home safely. Remember, you can always get the updates with you right now through our app. A hearing is happening right now to determine the fate of a Buckhead nightclub that was also the site of a deadly shooting. 2 people were killed inside 1145 Lounge on Mother's Day weekend. 11Alive's Ariana Manish joining us right now from that hearing. Ariana, what can you tell us?
Aisha, we do have a reporter inside of that hearing as of right now, and I can tell you that a major with the Atlanta Police Department over Zone 2 is testifying. Now, Zone 2 is the area where 1145 is located. During questioning with the city attorney, the major for the police department says that that club is an epicenter of crime where it's located at the intersection of Bennett and Peachtree. The major says that over the last year, they've received 270 service calls from that location, including calls regarding theft, dispute shootings, and even homicide calls. We also heard from a city attorney who used the words irresponsible, negligent acts, greed to describe the business. The city also claims that the lounge is only licensed as a restaurant with live entertainment and not permitted to operate as a nightclub, and says 1145 has received complaints from businesses and residents up to a mile away. Now, lawyers arguing on behalf of 1145 claim the incidents are isolated, and another lawyer who represents Bennett Street Properties, which owns the plaza where the club is located, says while they are part of this lawsuit, they cannot be responsible for or control any nuisance activities that take place at at the club, near the club, even on the property. Now, as I said, we do have a reporter inside of that hearing right now, and she tells us that family and friends of Mari Creighton, which was one of the victims killed inside of that nightclub on Mother's Day weekend, they are inside this hearing in support of closing 1145. We'll have more as this hearing continues on our 11Alive streaming app as well as the News on 6. Reporting live from Fulton County Court, I'm Ariana Manise for 11Alive. Back to you.
Ariana, thank you. To read more about the 1145 shooting and the city's response, head to 11alive.com to search 1145 in your browser. Thousands of students across Metro Atlanta heading back to school today, getting in the swing of things, and that includes the state's second largest district. We find our Liza Lucas there in Powder Springs in Cobb County. Liza, you tagged along at Kemp Elementary. How's it looking as the first day gets started?
Good morning, Aisha. Yes, I love a good first day. I have to say, no first day jitters here. Of course, we were with the third graders who are a little more used to the back to school routine at this point, but we did have a chance to catch up with teachers about their plans for the first day, as well as the district superintendent, Chris Ragsdale, about what he is going to be focusing on in the year ahead. The buses are rolling, the kids back in class. Cobb County Superintendent Chris Ragsdale greeting teachers and students at Kemp Elementary. For 17-year veteran teacher Stacy King, the first day about laying the foundation.
Today is all about relationships. We want to start building those relationships as soon as possible, so we stand outside, we greet them when they come in.
King among the district's teachers who are part of the Georgia Best program, a partnership with Cobb County Schools and the University of West Georgia, providing select teachers the chance to pursue higher degrees for free.
Not only am I going to get paid more, it's going to count towards my retirement, and it's going to make me a better teacher. It already has.
Speaking of students,
what's your favorite part about the first day of school?
What's my favorite part about the first day of school? Actually, what I'm doing right now.
After taking questions from students, Superintendent Ragsdale shared some of his priorities for the year ahead, reiterating the importance of teacher retention and plans to ensure the district is a great place to teach and work. Data, according to the superintendent, will also be a big part of district conversations.
We're going to analyze the data and we're going to make those decisions that are best in the interest of our students and our staff.
So we're going to continue to follow Cobb throughout the course of the year. And as for this morning, I asked Superintendent Ragsdale of any issues so far. He said as of 10 a.m., none to speak of, but he did say the day is early. And we did talk about buses and getting back into the whole transportation routine, something that they continue to monitor, especially on the first day. Live for you in Powder Springs, Liza Lucas, 11Alive News.
Liza, thank you. This morning, Atlanta Public Schools welcomed thousands of students to the new school year. The district is also bringing in the year with a new superintendent. We caught up with Dr. Brian Johnson this morning, and no first day jitters for him either. He says he is so excited to start with the district. He also shared his goals as he begins his first year with APS.
Well, we are excited that the school year has begun, looking forward to being in schools, seeing the work firsthand, the work our teachers are doing, and obviously our students and leaders, and continuing to build. Appreciate Dr. Battle having served and continuing to serve the next few days as interim superintendent, and the work of our school board in positioning me to come in and be successful.
Before coming to APS, Dr. Johnson served as superintendent of Hamilton County Schools. According to the Atlanta Board of Education, he was also recognized as the 2020 Tennessee Superintendent of the Year and finalist for the National Superintendent of the Year. As the Atlanta Public School kicks off another school year, the district is looking for people to get those students to class safely. APS is looking for 32 bus drivers. It's actually a better situation than they faced in recent years. 11Alive's Jerry Carnes has more on what has been a nationwide bus driver shortage.
7 U.S. presidents have occupied the White House since Janice Burt first took over the driver's seat in an APS bus.
Be 36 on August 17th, we 36 total.
Her bus has become a rolling classroom. Here, the students are the teachers.
Building those relationships, listening to the children. Sometimes it can get emotional. It can get emotional because of the kids, some of the situation, but I love this job.
Her testimony is part of the district's effort to attract more drivers. Like other school districts, the Atlanta public school system has struggled to maintain a full staff. Last November, 4 months into the school year, the district was still short 44 drivers. This year, several drivers are in training, preparing to cut into a shortage that is much smaller.
We're getting a whole new bumper crop of bus drivers in that are enjoying the work.
The situation is far more challenging in Fulton County, where there's 133 driver vacancies. The district says it is working to ensure all routes are covered by using, quote, combination routes and double runs as necessary. DeKalb is currently short 75 bus drivers. Cherokee, Gwinnett, and Clayton County say they're opening school with a full staff. The head of recruiting at APS says financial incentives for drivers have made her job easier.
We're seeing a great turnout of candidates and interest at our hiring events, and we're also seeing the longevity of individuals within the role.
Talk about longevity.
I'm inspired to come to work.
As she begins her 36th year behind the wheel, Janice Burt knows she can't do this forever. Still, she begins this year with the same enthusiasm she had on day one. Jerry Carnes, 11Alive News.
DeKalb County tells us they're overcoming their driver shortage by using other staff members. APS's recruiting efforts will continue during the school year. And the new year kicked off with changes for some Metro students when it comes to using their cell phones. Teens at Midtown High School in Atlanta started to see those changes as they returned to the class this morning. Students will get their own Yonder pouches, which is used to lock up cell phones during class. This is a new effort to curb cell phone use in the classroom.
Number one thing is we're all doing what we think is best for the students and for the teachers.
So the hope here is that these pouches will drive down all those distractions and increase student engagement. That's a win-win. State School Superintendent Richard Woods is addressing his decision to not recommend an advanced placement African American studies course. In a statement, Woods says it is because it would break the law. He says part of the curriculum are concerning, but specifically mentions intersectionality. Woods says this section violates Georgia's divisive concepts law by not giving opposing views on intersectionality and other topics. Here at 11Alive, we are tracking off the school year, helping set Fulton County students up for great success. 11Alive is partnering with Heritage Elementary and McNair Middle School to help fulfill their Amazon wish list. If you use your phone to scan this QR code right there on your screen, it's going to take you straight to their list. These items help ensure students are starting the school year off right with everything they need. The drive runs through August 23rd, so consider donating and help us make it a great school year for these students.
Students need the basic supplies. Heritage Elementary School serves a great number of students and families that are unsheltered. So these supplies are paramount to their success and just something that the parents don't have to be concerned about.
And this is our third year partnering with Fulton County Schools, and we would love for you to be a part of it. Again, scan the QR code to get the list there. We are following some breaking news just in the 2-month-old at the center of an Amber Alert has been found safe this morning. Sandy Springs police says Rhea Clark was abducted yesterday from a Sandy Springs hotel by her father. Authorities now saying he turned himself in. As this story develops, we will bring you any information we have on air and online. In celebration of back to school, Circle K is offering up to 40 cents off gas per gallon. The deal runs from 4 p.m. until 7 p.m. Circle K's fuel pop-ups. There are 10 Circle K's in Atlanta participating today, so hit them up. We are learning about a second victim in a deadly shooting that happened Wednesday in DeKalb County. DeKalb County police tells us a 27-year-old man was also shot several times in the shooting there on Boulder Crest Road. We have also learned the 16-year-old boy who died was Andre Fortson. We now know his older brother, Senior Airman Roger Fortson, lost his life after being shot by a deputy in Florida back in May. More grief added on to this family during an already difficult time.
I don't know how my auntie is going to get through this. I don't know how anybody would get through this. I don't know. I pray for her peace. I've been praying for her peace since my little cousin Roger passed away. But now I don't even have words.
While the family asks for privacy, they do want to know how and why Andre was killed. We do know one person was arrested and booked into the DeKalb County Jail facing charges of aggravated assault with a weapon. We are working to confirm that person's identity. DeKalb police is still investigating. Today, a South Fulton family is in mourning after a young mother and her baby were killed in a house fire. That fire happened Tuesday at a home on Connell Road. Fire crews say when they got there, they found the house in flames with multiple people trapped inside. Despite their efforts, the mother and child died on the second floor. The cause of that fire is still under investigation. We're hearing from a Chick-fil-A worker who fought off an intruder inside a Gwinnett County location, and it was all caught on video. Check it out. So Kevin Blair says he was putting away delivery back on July 1st when the suspect used a rock to shatter the window in the drive-thru and climbed inside. The video shows the armed suspect confronting Blair and they start trading blows. We're told the intruder wanted Blair to open up the safe.
He told me, if you don't open the safe, you're going to die. He gave me an ultimatum, and I had to fight at that point in time. I broke his glasses, I put my thumb into his eye, he hit me several times.
I mean, that adrenaline kicked in because they were getting down to it, fighting for several minutes before the suspect just ran away. That person was found Wednesday by the U.S. Marshals. There are renewed calls for a mistrial in the YSL RICO trial involving Atlanta rapper Young Thug. Now defense attorneys are learning about a second private meeting before the one that led to the recusal of Judge Euro Granville. Defense attorneys allege the comments made behind their backs are possible grounds for a mistrial. The third judge on this case now, Paige Whitaker, said she would be, quote, a little hot under the collar about that meeting transcript if she were a practicing attorney, adding she will take that into consideration as she reviews the motion. Hundreds of residents who have not been able to access their apartment after a massive fire will finally be able to at least get to their cars. So the parking garage at the Bell Collier Village on Howell Mill is back open. Residents have not been able to get in their apartments or their cars since that fire sparked on Saturday. The complex says all 256 units were impacted by fire or water damage. We know the Red Cross is helping more than 100 people. The complex says it's also giving $250 per unit to help offset renter insurance deductibles. A prisoner swap is happening between the U.S., Russia, and other countries. A senior Biden administration official has confirmed the swap, which includes Evan Gorshovskis and Paul Whelan. Both men were designated by the State Department as wrongfully detained. Earlier this month, Gershowitz, a Wall Street Journal reporter, was sentenced to 16 years in prison after being found guilty of spying. He had been arrested in March 2023 while there on a reporting trip. Meanwhile, Whelan, who was left out of several exchanges in the past, has been in Russian custody for more than 5 years. He was detained at a Moscow hotel on accusations of also spying in 2018. Today's swap comes after months of negotiations between Moscow and D.C. Vice President Kamala Harris is coming to Savannah with her potential running mate next week, just days after her campaign stop at Georgia State University. Meanwhile, former President Donald Trump is set to hold a rally at Georgia State this Saturday. As the race for the White House heats up, rhetoric is turning, let's say, ugly. Mr. Trump making headlines today at a panel discussion in Chicago hosted by the National Association of Black Journalists. The former president sparring with those reporters over Harris's identity and racial origin. The Harris campaign now calling the former president, quote, unhinged, and the White House condemning his comments. NBC's Drew Petrimo has more from Washington.
During dueling rallies in Texas and Pennsylvania, presidential rivals Kamala Harris and Donald Trump taking aim at each other.
Now he intends to pass a nationwide abortion ban, to ban access to fundamental health care in every state. But I will not let that happen.
Kamala Harris bragged that, quote, I will proudly put my record against Donald Trump's any day of the week. Well, Kamala, let's go. Challenge accepted.
The former president's rally comes hours after a combative appearance at a black journalists conference where he attacked the vice president's racial identity.
I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?
She is always identified as a black woman. She went to a historically black college.
I respect either one, but she obviously doesn't, because she was Indian all the way, and then all of a sudden she made a turn and she became a black person.
Just to be clear, sir, do you...
The Democratic presidential frontrunner shot back an answer.
It was the same old show. The divisiveness and the disrespect. And let me just say, the American people deserve better.
Meanwhile, Harris's search for a running mate is heading into the final stretch. Several names are thought to be on the short list, including Arizona Senator Mark Kelly from a key border state.
Kamala Harris is about solving problems. Donald Trump wants to drag us back a decade.
Trump's VP pick, Senator J.D. Vance, rallied in Arizona, and today he'll head to the border as both sides crisscross the country at a frantic pace that will last until Election Day. Drew Petrimo, NBC News, Washington.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Let's take a look at our 7-day outlook. It does show that we have a 11Alive weather impact day today and another one tomorrow. Look at those temperatures getting up to 95 degrees for a high today. Tomorrow, 97. Both days you have to factor in that humidity, and it's going to give you a high heat index number, one that's causing or at least prompting a heat advisory for our area. And so that's what we're looking at today. You notice as we head through the weekend, temperatures start to drop off just a little bit. Our chance for rain stays on the low side. In fact, even as we head into next week, it remains on the low side. It's there, but it remains on the lower side. Again, it's the heat and humidity creating that dangerous condition on the outside. On a day like this, you don't want to overexert yourself outside. Our heat advisory will last until 9 o'clock tonight. You're looking at the impacts of heat illness, especially when the heat index gets above 105. What do you need to do? Take those breaks, folks. Go inside, enjoy the air, or, grab some water. Maybe go in the shade. If you can't go inside, just take a break. Take it easy. There it is, the heat advisory. You can see all of the counties here in the orange shade, except for our far northeastern counties in the North Georgia mountains. But we'll see those heat index numbers reach 105 or greater where you see the shaded counties there. So from Rome, Atlanta, Athens, over toward Augusta, down toward Macon, that's where we can see those high heat index numbers. So be careful, all right? We don't have much outside other than the sunshine, plenty of it. We'll see those clouds begin to bubble up once we get into the daytime heating today, and I think we're already there. A couple showers could move into the area, especially up to the north, watching a few thunderstorms up to the north behind the banner there. Probably can't see it, but a lot of those are starting to fall apart, so a few sprinkles up to the far north, but all of us stand a chance to see an isolated shower or two. Only a few of us will receive them. It's only a 30% chance. Notice the temperatures are up there. Started out in the 70s this morning. We're right around 75 degrees, 76 degrees. Now well into the 80s in a lot of spots. You got 88 right now in Marietta, 90 in Duluth, 87 degrees in Atlanta, 87 down toward LaGrange, up to the north where it's a little bit cooler, 83 in Blairsville, 84 degrees up toward Clayton at the current tower. Again, not a whole lot going on. There's a better look at some of those showers. They are starting to fall apart a little bit as they move closer to our border. I think we'll just get the pop-up variety as we head into the afternoon. A thunderstorm or two could pop up, and one or two of those could be on the strong to severe side. We'll be watching that, of course. Storm Prediction Center has placed a level 1 threat over the area. You can see from Atlanta eastward, Macon eastward is where we have that. It's in this area that one or two of those thunderstorms could produce winds up to 58, maybe 60 miles per hour. So that along with some of that heavy rain, we'll be watching for that. The rain that we've already had has been beneficial to the area. Take a look at the latest drought monitor. Doesn't show much in the way of severe drought. We had that severe drought over parts of Cobb County, northern parts of Fulton County into Forsyth County, and now we're just looking at a moderate drought. That's surrounded by abnormally dry conditions like over toward Rome and then south of the city. And so it has been beneficial for us, the rain, and we'll see more, but lower chances of it as we head through the rest of the afternoon. Also watching a wave down over toward the Caribbean near San Juan right now. That has a 60% chance for development over the next 7 days as it begins to move up toward the Gulf, right along the Florida Peninsula. So we'll be watching that as we head into the weekend. That has the potential to become tropical. Again, a 60% chance over the next 7 days. So something we'll keep our eye on, of course. Our forecast track model shows, a few isolated showers rolling through the area, at least through about 5 or 6 o'clock tonight. We'll repeat that tomorrow. We'll have mostly sunny skies to start off the day, a few clouds during the afternoon, and then watch for a few of those scattered showers to begin to move into the forecast area during the afternoon. A lower threat as we head into Saturday, back down to a 30% chance, 40% chance on Sunday. We'll stay with that low percentage of chances for rain as we head into next week, and our temperatures will stay in the low 90s. Aisha?
Chesney, thank you. According to the CDC, more than 6 million Americans are living with Alzheimer's disease and related dementias. Early diagnosis and intervention might help delay the onset of symptoms. And a new study shows a blood test for cognitive decline can help with early detection. Mandy Gaither has more on the test and how it works.
It's the most common type of dementia, and cases of Alzheimer's disease are expected to continue rising in the U.S., but there's another tool that is providing hope for early diagnosis.
There have been so many exciting developments when it comes to the world of Alzheimer's, and this is another one.
Dr. Sanjay Gupta says the two-part blood test can measure how much amyloid you likely have in your brain. That's a protein that clumps together and later becomes plaque in patients with Alzheimer's disease.
It's not an Alzheimer's test per se, saying either you have it or you don't, but it's another tool that doctors are likely to start using as part of a more complete evaluation.
A new study found this combined blood test has a 90% accuracy rate in determining whether memory loss is due to Alzheimer's. In comparison, neurologists and other memory specialists correctly diagnose the disease in 73% of cases, and primary care doctors had even less success with a 61% accuracy rate.
There's also these new medications out there. With these new blood tests, you might be able to follow along how well those medications are working. Take the medication, did the amyloid score start to improve as a result of that? You can do that in conjunction with actually looking at someone's real life functioning.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Meanwhile, another study shows you could cut your risk of dementia by making one dietary change: replacing red meat. People who replace an ounce of processed red meat a day with a daily serving of nuts and legumes are dropped their risk of dementia by 20%. Those who continue to eat red meat every day raise their risk by 14%. Each additional daily serving added about an extra 1.6 years of cognitive aging. That is according to the observational study. Researchers warn these results only show an association and do not necessarily prove cause and effect. Let's check in with our team in Paris for the Summer Olympics. Cheryl Preheim taking us on one athlete's journey to a gold medal.
Hello from Paris, where track and field officially kicked off just a little bit ago under the Eiffel Tower with a race walking competition. Half of our Georgia Olympians are in track and field, so we're going to have an awesome wild ride the next week and a half. One person you've got to watch out for is Atlanta's own Christian Coleman, and he told me this whole Olympic journey really started on the playground.
Like playing football, running track, like even just on the playground, we playing hide and seek, we playing tag, like that was just always my specialty. People wanted me on their team just because like I get the ball and I just run around. Like, you know, it's a God-given talent and a God-given ability.
Take a look at this picture his mom shared with me. This is Christian, about 5 years old. He's the one in the red tank top there. He was a Parks and Rec runner, and the rest is history. He's going to compete in the relays. We'll hear a lot more from Christian here in the next couple of days, but really excited for his second Olympics here in Paris. An Olympic legend in shooting is from Georgia. Vincent Hancock is looking to keep his streak alive. When he was 12 in his hometown of Eatonton, Georgia, he learned about Olympic shooting, and it changed his life forever.
This is what I want to do. I want to go to the Olympics and I want to win a gold medal.
And Hancock made it happen.
It was a dream come true.
He is the first skeet shooter to win back-to-back Olympic gold in the same event, and he could do it again this year here in Paris.
Going there with the expectation to win, yes, but I plan on having fun, because as I get older, I realize that those experiences are coming closer and closer to being done.
Weightlifting also on tap. We have two Georgia weightlifters. One of them, Hampton Morris from Marietta, and he's not just an Olympian. He is a coffee connoisseur. Take a look at what he brought from home. He loves to make a good cold brew, and it was nice that he shared some with me. So he brought his whole setup here to Paris because caffeine is key. The other thing that's key is something to do in the downtime as they're resting up their bodies. So he packed along Risk and Monopoly to play there in the Athlete Village. Hampton, his dad is his coach, and the two of them will compete next week. Just one of the many things to look forward to here in Paris.
We want to point out some programming changes. The Olympics are preempting 11Alive news weekdays and weekends. And while the games are on TV, you can get the latest on big local stories and weather 24/7 through our streaming app, 11Alive Plus. During the week, we're going to be on in the morning, normal time, 4:30 a.m. until 7, and then streaming here with you at 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. Then we're back on air at 6 p.m. and again for the news at 11 following Olympics prime time.
All right, we'll continue with our 11 Live weather impact alert for today and tomorrow with those temperatures well into the 90s. You got 95 degrees for today, 97 for the high. On tomorrow, you factor in that humidity. It's going to feel like, we'll say over 105 in a lot of spots. We'll see the temperature going down a little bit as we head into the weekend. 93 degrees on Saturday. Sunday, we're looking at 92. 30% chance for the rain on Saturday. Sunday, back up to a 40% chance. We'll stay low with our percentage for rain as we head into the next week. But those temperatures will remain hot above our average for this time of year. We should be around 90 degrees. We'll stay in the low 90s right on through Wednesday of next week. Aisha?
All right, Chelsea, thank you. And we thank you for watching. Make sure you have a great day.